Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Different type of video today. It's not an instant movie review. I'm going to review this experience or this virtual live event thing from 2 days ago actually. Matthew, my fucking hair. God damn it. Jesus H fuck. God fucking heaven. Assholes. Jesus. Hey there, folks. It's your buddy Mike Messier. God damn it. Hey, folks. It's your buddy Mike Messier, and talking about this Matthew Mcconaughey experience, whatever the fuck, virtual class. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was good. What was it? It's basically the way that he promoted it, it was very vague in a sense. But I had been to this sort of similar thing about 10 or 12 years ago, maybe 14 years ago, of this touring group came through Providence. They hire these headlining speakers. The headliners were Bill Cosby and Terry Bradshaw. Yes, that Bill Cosby. Woohoo! And then what they do is there's other speakers that come on before them, so you have to sit through these other assholes before you get to the main assholes. And they're all hawking some shit, some real estate seminar, some other fucking thing. So you basically sit around waiting for Cosby or Bradshaw, and you get all these other fucks that I believe were paying to be on the show, okay? So I was wondering if that was going to be like this. It really wasn't. It was Mcconaughey apparently got a phone call from Tony Robbins, and I guess Tony Robbins has another guy that he works with, like his second in command, that probably does all the real work. And they called Mcconaughey after Mcconaughey's Green Lights books, and they're like, hey, let's all make some money off these marks, these Mcconaughey marks. And they fucking put together this class, this fucking Green Lights class, and you know, Matthew's gonna ride shotgun with you and all this shit. And look, I've listened to some of Tony Robbins stuff. In fact, several years ago, I invested like $200 into like this 27 disc thing, and I think it was a good investment. And I like Tony, and I like Mcconaughey. I listened to his audiobook, but they're just repackaging the same thing. Like a lot of these courses, when you come down to it, it's just goal planning, like goal setting and shit like that. And yeah, I mean, I guess for me personally, it's hard to stay committed to these programs, you know, because just sometimes, like in an ideal world, sure, you could go to some fucking office space and, you know, think about your life for 45 minutes and write all your goddamn action plans and all this other shit. But in reality, you know, things are happening. But I guess that's what separates the Tony Robbinsons from the Mike Messiers of the goddamn world, right? I don't know. So I sat through McConaughey's spiel. The best thing about it was him. He's very entertaining. And he gets his, you know, you feel like you're watching him in The Lincoln Lawyer or To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever the fuck movie he's been in. Because he gets all emotional and wired up about this shit. So that's exciting. But, you know, is it exciting enough to invest? I think that the asking price was basically $397 for this class. I don't know. I mean, because even what clued me in that I wouldn't be, for me at least, is the chickadee that was kind of the hostess of this thing. And by the way, the clap track, like the clap track and the laugh track were horrible. I don't think those were real people clapping and laughing. McConaughey on the bongos was funny. But just, she said, oh yeah, I was so excited by this class. I listened to it in 2 days. So she just banged through the whole, and so it's kind of like, if the class is, if you're not doing the, like, I'm guessing that after every little fucking class session, you're supposed to do some homework. Well, I don't think this young lady did all that. She just probably did what I do with Masterclass. You just listen to the audio and you don't do the homework. So I thought that was a little bit of a tell, if that this woman can just buzz through this Mcconaughey class in a day and a half or 2 days or whatever. I'm like, okay, I kind of get the deal. This is basically, I would just guess, because I can't tell you because I haven't paid the $397 for the class. I would guess it's very similar to to Masterclass. And the good thing with Masterclass is that they have like different disciplines. If you want to learn how to cook, if you want to do electronic music, if you want to play an instrument or sing or whatever the fuck, or make films or act. I mean, there's all these different things. Even shoot baskets with Stephen Curry or Stephen Curry or Stefan Curry or whatever the fuck. So my point is, I wasn't terribly motivated to invest $397 into this Mcconaughey deal. I mean, I will invest into his audiobook, which I already did, which I enjoyed. But and when Mcconaughey was telling his fucking stories, I didn't really feel as if they were mostly the same stories from the book. And the fuckers on the laugh track were just laughing and giggling. But it's like, I've heard all these goddamn stories because I listened to his fucking book. You know what I mean? When he's talking about his mom and his dad divorced 3 times and all this, you know, he's walking with the Buddhist monk and he's telling all the fucking, you know, painful life stories to the Buddhist monk. And he's waiting for the judgment of the Buddhist monk or some great wisdom. And the Buddhist monk just leans into him and says, "Me too." It was just like, okay. So, you know, I'm not shitting on McConaughey. I mean, I kind of feel like, you know, what was it, a year ago when that horrible shooting in his hometown of Texas came and the children were killed and McConaughey went to the White House and did like this rip-roaring speech. You know, I'd kind of hope for McConaughey and for the rest of us that maybe he'd do something more pivotal or more important, in my opinion, or, you know, something like that, political, I guess. But he's gone the Tony Robbins route. I think, you know, when people start sharing clips from this thing and how goofy it all was in some level, I don't know if it's going to help him or not. And, you know, he would say, well, it's not about me, brother. I've already got mine. It's about you. So I'm sure McConaughey is going to have an answer for everything. And, you know, I mean, I think that McConaughey is a very addicting personality. Even if you saw Anne Hathaway, I think she was on Letterman or Jimmy Fallon. She was basically finger banging herself after she had worked with McConaughey about how great he is. So good for him, good for her, good for everyone. I just don't know what to say. I just, you know, it was 5 hours and I gave him all my time. I hung in there. I will say this for the seminar. Oh, God. While I was watching their 5-hour presentation, which was only supposed to be 3 hours, I did do some organization, some items that were kind of floating around my living quarters. I just organized envelopes and items and things. So it was, and that's, and you might be thinking, well, who gives a fuck? Well, it's hard for me to focus sometimes on things I don't want to do. So for me to sit there and kind of be able to like do this shit and have McConaughey and friends as background fodder, for me, that was nice. Now you might be thinking, well, who gives a flying fuck? And I can understand that point of view. But for me, it was enjoyable. Oh, what else is going on? I shaved my mustache. I will probably grow it back. I always do. But I was just yesterday, I was trying to trim the mustache. I no longer go to professional haircut people. I've realized what a fucking scam that's been my whole life. I bought a couple of hair fucking things, hair scissors for $15 2 years ago, and I've been using them to cut my own hair. I bought this fucking banana you should know about. But yesterday I was like trimming my mustache with like that fucking hair thinner thing, and it just turned out like garbage. It looked like I just cut too much off, so it looked very weak, and I'm like, the best thing to do is just to shave the whole fucking thing off and start over, and it won't take me long to grow it back. But I'm gonna go see this nefarious movie right now. Hopefully I'll have the theater to myself and I can take off my shoes and sit comfortably. If there happens to be other assholes in the theater, I'll guess I'll deal with them. That's it, folks. This is One Mike Messier YouTube channel. You get your straight-to-camera rants. It's not a formal channel. It's just me saying whatever the fuck I want. If you want my nice films, One Man and a Camera films, If you want my pro wrestling and my sports takes, you go over to One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan. So I get all these elements of my life covered. The serious filmmaking is on One Man in the Camera Films. The movie reviews and the life rants are here on this fucking station, One Mike Messier. And if you want my pro wrestling and MMA and NFL, I'm going to do a really killer football take. It's going to blow everybody away. I've been working on that for a while, but I'm almost ready to present that to you fucks over on One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan. So that's it. Have a wonderful fucking second half of the week. Mike Messier.